Hey everybody, how's it going? In this episode of Jarvis RAW, we're talking about pictures. They're everywhere. I don't know if you've noticed that. That's my background as a photographer. On this show, we talk about not just pictures, but a bunch of other stuff. Today, it's specifically about pictures. I'm gonna help you. Actually, not just me gonna help you. I've got a friend, and we're gonna help you tell stories. That's maybe the number one question I get besides this technical mumbo jumbo, because we've all got these things now, and you maybe don't have to have quite the technical knowledge, but story, S-T-O-R-Y, the story of a photograph is the most important part of it. Technically, you got that covered. Baseline is in your pocket already. It's the camera that's with you. But story is everything. And to tell you more about how to tell a story with a picture, I brought one of the world's top photographers, storytellers, and photographic educators in the world. It's Joe McNally. Hi, Joe.
How's it going? World famous photographer Jarvis.
It's pure chaos, exactly the way I like it. Welcome to the show. I'm over-caffeinated.
Wait a second. No, let me take your pulse here. It's just like, can we call some sort of medical help here? I think we gotta. We're almost,
My caffeine level is high. Kate, my wife, I'm sorry. We're trying to reduce our caffeine, generally speaking. Kate's doing a very good job. Over-caffeinated today, but over-caffeinated Chase. Nice to meet you again in person, Joe. We just did a little conversation on the couch because you got a Creative Live thing coming up soon. But tell the people at home, you have 3 secrets to great storytelling in a single image. What are they?
All right. There's lots of components to a great photograph. 3 very important ones are research.
Yes.
Right? Know your subject before you go.
So what is that? How do you figure that out? And sometimes acknowledging that you just meet a subject like right here, and maybe that's someone you know something about. But in the world that you're speaking about, it's when you're going to take a picture of Joey's football team or the coach, or you're going to shoot a wedding for a friend. What kind of research and how would you go about doing that research?
There's information about everybody. I don't care if it's who it is, the guy down the block, the local teacher of the year, whatever it is. Find out about your subject. Find out what their life is about, at least a bit. Find out if they have kids. Find out what their interests are. All that sort of stuff. If you're going to a country, to do a story about a place, or I'd really like to. I got a vacation coming up in Barcelona. How would I really feel about that city pictorially? Well, read some books, read novels.
Yep, know a little bit about the culture. And underscoring all this is, what's the why? Why do you do the research?
Because it informs your photograph. Read some poetry, buy music. You're gonna go to Nashville,
Know a little bit about the history.
Know where you're going to go. Get some old-timey music. Get some country music. Get who's hot. All of that informs. It's like this kind of richening of your eye and your experience at the camera. You're not just going in cold.
Yeah, and sorry if I can jump in, because I'm thinking about what we were just talking about. The reason you want to do research about someone, if you're going to make a picture of them, is because you also want to be able to create conversation, make them feel comfortable, right?
Sure. Yeah. Didn't your son just win a Yeah. It puts them at ease.
Yeah.
Because it makes them, let's face it, like a visit from a photographer to a lot of folks is like a visit from the dentist, and
right.
So you don't want them to look at you like that. So it helps them puts them at ease. Convinces them that you've done your homework, and also tends to kind of loosen them up. It's like, oh, okay, this person actually cares about me.
Yeah.
This person's going to work hard to make me look good. And you can almost sometimes see the tension drain out of your subject's body.
Yeah, beautiful. That's thing 1. Research. Thing 2?
Distill.
Distill.
Right.
What do you mean by that? Distill in a picture.
Simplify. Know what the powerful elements are and pare it down. So many people, and you know this.
I do.
I know it. You back up, you're trying to, let's get everything in the photograph, and at the end of the day.
Big Ben, Grandma, that London taxi, we're going to get it all in there.
Yep, and at the end of the day, you got nothing in the photograph because your viewer has nothing to rest their eye on or go to.
Got it.
The way you compose, the way you orient a picture, the way you strip it down, that sends powerful message to the viewer of your photograph. I want you to look here. We're never going to have a conversation. The person who's going to view your picture in Moscow or London or someplace like that, you're never going to meet. You're never going to be able to call them up and say, this is what I meant. right? The photograph has to look at them and say, this is what I mean.
I've almost never, in critiquing a photograph, I've almost never said, this is too simple. But on the other end of the spectrum, 99 times out of 100, I say, you got too much stuff going on in here. What's the subject?
Right. Busyness is the enemy of clarity.
All right, busyness is the enemy of clarity. We're gonna narrow down on our subject. That's thing 2, about storytelling in an image. And thing 3, great things come in 3s, right? All things come in 3s. Some things come in 3s. We're gonna edit this part because the 3 thing
Get
is.
some more caffeine on the set. I think, you know.
All right, so thing 3 and how to tell a great story with a single image. What's your tip on number 3 here, Joe?
Execution at the camera.
Got it.
You know, you can do all of your homework. You can have a good foreground and a good background and all that sort of stuff. And if you don't execute well at the camera, then it all falls apart.
Got it.
You know?
And what makes execution easy? Like when you say execution, what should people be thinking about right now?
Know your craft. Know how your camera relates to your scene and to your subject. Do you want lots of depth of field? You know, they're daunting sometimes. The numbers like f11 at 125th of a second. You know, all that sort of stuff. But it's significantly impactful on your photograph in an aesthetic sense. If I want to do Chase Jarvis right here as the kind of leader of Creative Live, I'm probably going to use maybe f8, f11 because I want to see all this environment.
Yeah.
If I want to do an intense personal study of you, I'm going to shift to 1.8.
Got it.
And come in on your eyes and sort of see. So all of those numbers have tremendous relationship again to the story you're trying to tell.
Beautiful. Ultimately, craft, there's a great quote that, I don't know where I hijacked this from, but it's repetition breeds skill. We were just talking about how all of those numbers and stuff, why you practice and why you get good at your craft is so that's not in the foreground, right? Because if you're in the foreground, then you can't be thinking of all that stuff that you just said about me and what you're trying to do. If you're thinking about numbers, you're not thinking about the quality of the photograph you're going to take. So, in summary, that was about knowing your craft. And thing 1, one more time. Thing 1.
Where were we on thing 1?
No, we're going to go back to the top.
Research.
Now. Research. Thing 2.
Distill.
Distill, simplify. Thing 3, know your craft. All right. From one of the all-time great image makers, 3 things to help your pictures be much better. This is for anybody, right? Mom, are you watching? Are you watching? Thanks for coming, Joe.
All right. Thank you, Chase.
Oh, by the way, before you go, this is my channel. I put out videos every week about creativity, entrepreneurship, having fun, goofing off. If any of those or all those things sounds fun to you, then subscribe, because I put out videos all the time. I would love you to be a part of my tribe, and I will do what I can to add value to you, wherever you are, at home in your underwear in Ohio or Texas or Tasmania. I like all those places.